Hello. While developing projects with Arduino, we use various display technologies such as LCD screens, Nokia 5110 displays, and 7-segment displays to showcase environmental, temperature, and humidity information to the user. In this tutorial, we will learn how to use the 7-segment display screen. The 7-segment display screens are widely used in projects due to their affordability contributes to cost reduction. We shall now begin our training session integrating theoretical and applied knowledge. Due to its low cost, 7-segment display screens are widely used in various applications, ranging from automotive indicators to household appliances such as electric ovens and washing machines. The name 7-segment is chosen based on its capacity to generate letters, numbers, and symbols using 7 LEDs. Additionally, there is one LED designated as a decimal point, serving as the decimal separator for numerical digits. This LED can serve various functions as well. 7-segment display screens are manufactured in two types, common anode and common cathode, and they have a total of 10 pins divided into upper and lower segments. The pins located at the midpoint of the upper and lower sets of 5 pins determine whether the 7-segment display is common anode or common cathode based on the manufacturing method. In the case of a common anode setup, a positive 5-volt voltage is applied to these pins, while for a common cathode configuration, these pins should be connected to the ground line. The common anode or common cathode configuration of the 7-segment display is essential in determining the power supply connections for all connected pins. In a common anode 7-segment display, connecting 5 volts to these pins provides a 5-volt value to all LEDs simultaneously. Consequently, for any LED to light up, its connected pin must be grounded. In this way, the external ground connection and the 5 volts from the common anode merge to enable the LED to light up. With common cathode, the scenario is reversed. Connecting the ground to the pins located in the middle of the top and bottom pins establishes the ground connection for all LEDs. When a 5 volts voltage is applied to the pin associated with the LED we want to light up, the circuit circulation is established. LEDs are named with letters starting from the upper middle point and moving to the right. The first LED to the right of the middle pin is labeled as A, then B. C is positioned to the right of the lower middle point, while D is to its left, then E. F is named to the left of the upper middle point, and G is placed to the left of F in order. The LED indicating the decimal point is located in the bottom right corner. By utilizing the combinations of these designations, the illumination of the desired numbers or letters can be achieved. We can create truth tables for this using our logic or obtain them from various sources. Let's examine the logic behind the use of a 7-segment display as common anode or common cathode. In the upper circuit, the 7-segment display is configured as common anode. When you add a 7-segment display to your project using the Tinkercad application, you can choose between common anode and common cathode configurations from the common terminal. The 7-segment display at the top is configured as common anode, while the one at the bottom is configured as common cathode. First, take a closer look at the upper circuit. We are transferring a 5-volt voltage to the common terminals through the breadboard. The 5-volt voltage, represented by the red wires, is applied to the lines marked with a plus sign on the breadboard. The ground wire is connected to the negative rails indicated by the black markings on the breadboard. Since the 7-segment display is common anode, we observe that a 5-volt voltage is applied to their common terminals. To enable the other LEDs to light up in this situation, it is necessary to connect the ground line to each of these LEDs. As you can see, except for the middle pins, the decimal point, and all pins from A to G are connected to the ground line. When looking at the circuit below, you can see that the common line is connected to the ground rail. Since the 7-segment display in this setup has a cathode attribute, the common lines are connected to the ground rail. To make the LEDs light up, 5-volt voltage needs to be applied. As you can see, in the cathode connection, pin A is connected to a 5-volt connection. Similarly, pin B and the decimal point, C, D, E, F and G, all connected to 5-volt line through resistors. When we run the simulation, both 7-segment displays, including the decimal points, operate with all their LEDs. We connected the 220 ohm resistors separately to each pin. Even if you don't make this connection in a physical circuit, the LEDs won't be damaged. But when creating a circuit connection in the Tinkercad application, you need to connect the 220 ohm resistors. Let's proceed to the coding section for the 7-segment display. The 7-segment display has been placed on the breadboard. If you are setting up the application on a physical circuit, you can establish the same connections and follow the steps to get the circuit running. The 7-segment display type is set to common anode. You can test whether the 7-segment display you're using is common anode or common cathode. Here, since we are using a common anode type of 7-segment display, it is necessary to apply a 5-volt voltage to the common terminals. The 5-volt pin of Arduino has been connected to the positive strip of the breadboard. We extended the positive connection to the upper part by adding a branch to the lower positive rail. As a result, we facilitated the transfer of 5 volts through the common line on the breadboard. The reason for placing resistors in between is to prevent LEDs from drawing excessive current, thus protecting them from potential damage. Take a look at the digital pin connections. We are connecting the pin of LED A to digital pin 2 on the Arduino, and the B LED is connected to the 3rd pin. For now, we are not making any specific connections for the decimal point. We are connecting the C LED to digital pin 4. Similarly, we are arranging the D LED to be connected to pin 5 and the E LED to be connected to pin 6. The F LED on the top is connected to pin 7 and the G LED is connected to pin 8. If you notice, we haven't transferred the ground rail to the breadboard, because we don't need the ground rail here. Anode type 7-segment display only requires a common connection of 5 volts. Therefore, at the moment, we have provided 5-volt voltage to the connections of all the LEDs. So, where can we get the ground connection from? The ground connection for the LEDs we want to light up will be supplied via the digital pins. Let's see how this process can be done with the help of codes. We've created variables for LEDs in integer type from A to G and assigned the pin numbers corresponding to each LED to these variables. In the setup section, we need to define these pins as outputs, because these will function as individual LEDs. In the loop section, we use the digital write code to set the pins to low in order to turn on all the LEDs, establishing the ground connection for the LEDs we wish to light up. By doing so, the circuit for each LED is completed, allowing the LEDs to light up. And we create a delay to ensure stable operation. Now that we have ensured all LEDs are lit, we should observe the number 8 on the 7-segment display. Let's run the simulation and see a preview of the project in action. As you can see, the digit 8 is displayed on the 7-segment display here. Now let's discuss the usage of the cathode type. Select the 7-segment display and set the common line as cathode. Next, we need to change the resistor connections. Now that we have a cathode-based 7-segment display instead of an anode-based one, we need a ground connection, and we will route all connections to the ground line instead of 5 volts. Let's rearrange all the connections on the breadboard that were previously positive to now be according to the negative ground line. We are organizing the entire system according to the ground line connection, and set the cable color to black to make it apparent that it represents the ground line. Now, we are moving the resistor 1 row up to establish the connection between the ground rail and the common line. Similarly, on the upper part, we are shifting it up again to bring the common line to the ground rail. Now, we need to provide a high value instead of low for the LEDs to light up. Because the 7-segment display is cathode type and shares the ground rail, we need to apply voltage to the LEDs we want to illuminate. Let's start the simulation and see how it operates. As you can see, none of the LEDs lit up. Since the common line is connected to ground and we have also connected the LED pins to ground, none of the LEDs lit up. Let's change these low values to high. By doing this, we are effectively providing 5 volts from the Arduino, and thus the LEDs will light up. Let's run the project again. As you can see, the digit 8 is displayed on the 7-segment display, just like in the common anode example. If you wish, you can also enable the decimal point to light up. This can be done using code or by directly connecting it to 5 volts. Initially, let's try applying the 5 volt to the decimal point. The LED could be at risk of damage due to the lack of a connected resistor in this scenario. Start simulation. As you can see, the decimal point LED is also lit. Now, to light up the decimal point LED, we will use codes. To do this, we'll make a wire connection from pin 9 to the decimal point. Now, the decimal point has a controllable connection. Pause the video here and add the code yourself to make the decimal point light up. I've created an integer variable named point for the decimal point LED and assigned the pin number 9 to this variable. In the setup section, we set pin 9, represented by the variable point, as an output. In the loop section, since we are currently working with a common cathode 7-segment display, we need to assign a high value to the point variable. When working with an anode type 7-segment display, remember to assign a low value here to ground it. When you run the simulation in this way, the decimal point LED will also light up. You can utilize this point for creating a blinking effect or for displaying a decimal value. We have reached the end of this lesson. I wish you all the best in your studies.